I've been doing this for almost 3 years, and I've been doing it full time. Welcome back to today's video. Today I'm gonna be going through how I pick, pack, and ship orders. A lot of you guys have been asking for this type of content. So we're gonna go ahead and find out exactly what it costs, how much we profit, how much the eBay fees are, and we're gonna get after it today. Let's go. All right, so today we technically have 11 items that sold technically for yesterday, and that's gonna be a total of $451. And I already shipped one of the items yesterday just because it came through like early enough to where I was able to send it out with yesterday's orders. But we're gonna be starting with this first item. First, I wanna sort everything by SKU number. That way I'm not walking around my shop like all awkward. I can start in the front over there and then work my way down the shelves and then work my way around to these and these. Basically this is about 4,100 items right now. And if you haven't seen the video on how I take photos and a little bit about my photo booth, I have a video on my channel about that. Basically, we have all these parts that are off the car. They're sorted from where they kind of come out. That way we can get them photographed properly. Basically, they go from this cart to the table, they get cleaned, and then it all gets sorted into inventory with a SKU number and everything like that. So go watch that video if you're interested a little bit about taking photos. But since our first one is gonna be SKU number, it's gonna be box 11, and then it's 1647, and then 7516 is part of the VIN. So basically box 11 right there. So all I'm gonna do is literally just crack open box 11. Basically, so I don't have to break my back, because this is actually a little bit heavier. I'll just pull this out, and then sometimes I gotta shuffle through and look for it. That's just kind of part of it. You can see kind of what the inside of this box looks like. It has all these window regulators. That way I kind of have them together. They're kind of awkward and bulky. I don't like mixing them with other parts, because like if you need something smaller, it's just kind of weird to like be digging underneath it all the time. But here we go on top, kind of, we have this 1624. That's our SKU number. This is my old SKU system, so I don't really like these tags, but it's kind of what worked for me at the time. But here it is, kind of wrapped up, all clean, nice. And then I'll just go ahead and put away some of the other items that I pulled out. Stack them in here. Sometimes you gotta move stuff around so the lid's closed. Boom. Just like that. On to the next one. And then for this next one, we're gonna have to back up. I actually had a different SKU system. You'll kind of see that anything below like 3,000, item number 3,000 is kind of a different SKU system. There's a couple different kinds, but here we have the next one is 1C. That's what that the 1C is for the box 1C, obviously. And then it's the item number is 2082. So all I do is take out 1C, just like this, and I'll show you what's in 1C. It's kind of like smaller items. I had the idea of doing like smaller electronics inside of a little bit smaller tote. That way it wasn't as hard to find them. So item number 2082. Sometimes you gotta dig around. It's looks like a window control switch out of a Fiesta. So you just kind of, I'm looking for a window control switch. This is probably it right there. 1C 2082, and then that's the VIN number. I don't really need that for the SKU. That's kind of like, it helps identify the item, but it helps identify mostly what car it came off of. So there it is. It's all bagged up, nice and clean. We'll set that on the cart. Next one is box 21. So actually that's already gonna be moving to the other side. So I'm just gonna go ahead, move over here. We're gonna find box 21. It's all the way down there on the end. at the bottom. So this box is kind of an older box as well. I mean, even some older boxes I put newer parts in, but this would be strictly a seatbelt box. So we're looking for a seatbelt, and it's gonna be 1509. And I'll just kind of angle the camera for you guys. And then all you do, look for 1509. 1509 is gonna be an older SKU, so I already know that I'm looking for one of these brown tags. Sometimes you don't find it right away, sometimes you find it right away. Just kind of depends on how lucky you're feeling that day. But here we go, 1509, pretty easy, seatbelt. This one's not even wrapped, but that's all right. Put all this away, boom. Couple orders, the last ones on my SKU list is gonna be in these boxes. So these I'm doing a little differently. Not quite sure, I'm always experimenting, but this is labeled A, B, C, D, E, F for now. And I'm gonna scoot these over and obviously continue. But I keep extra small parts in these. So I have these bags, and if, right now it's kind of a mess, but if these are my smallest bags, if a part fits in this bag, it's gonna go in one of these boxes. And just because it's so small, there's so many parts in these boxes. If I put them with these larger ones, they get caught up in the bottom, and I can never find them. So I found that just putting them in these smaller totes, much easier, much quicker, gets the job done. The next two we have, we'll just pull out of this real quick. I'll show you how I do it. I mean, just like anything else, but just kind of give you an idea. Like, this is what we're working with, all these smaller parts. So we might have a little window switch, all kinds of sensors, switches, clips, buttons, whatever. Like, whatever fits, even like pigtails, everything small that would fit in that bag. That's what we're gonna put in there. So next one on the list, we're gonna do 7139, and also I need to keep my eye out for 7276. So 7139 and 7276. So sometimes it takes a minute to look for things, but a lot of times it is quick. It's right on top. Like, this set of orders shouldn't take me more than 30 minutes to pick, pack, and ship it out. Here's 7139, that's what we're looking for. And then a set of visor clips. That should be pretty easy. Let's see. It's probably them, 7276, boom. You can see how easy it was for me to find items. Yeah, maybe I had to dig in a box, but honestly, at the end of the day, like, I had the labels right. Nothing's confusing. I knew exactly where everything is. And I want to make a video on kind of the inventory system specifically. Let me know, drop a comment below if you want to see how I do my inventory system a little more in depth. And let's move on. We're going to ship these items, and we're going to see exactly what our profits are and exactly what it costs for us to ship them. I just want to show you guys my shipping area before we get started. But if you want to see more like the warehouse, I have a warehouse tour video. You can go on my channel and find that one. Basically, this is my ship station. So this whole table is where I pack everything. My scale, my tape gun, my marker, my tape measure. Down here, it's an organized mess, I promise. I should probably kind of do some cleaning down there. But basically, I have a couple of these small boxes I'm trying out. My mailers, which my mailers I have in there and in my office. I have packing paper right away if I need it. Over here, we got 2 different sizes of bubble wrap. I actually make my own bubble wrap with my bubble machine, except for these smaller ones. I don't make those quite yet. But up top, I keep my label printer. Here I have all my different boxes. So small, medium, you know, a little bigger. We have longer boxes. We have shipping tubes. And then I have pool noodles for shipping like delicate items like glass, stuff like that. I'll slit it and put it around. Let me know if you want to see a video of how I ship glass. And then obviously we have some of these totes. All right, here in my office, I keep more supplies. So we have some of these longer boxes, bubble mailers. This is more bubble wrap. And then some of the larger boxes. So I have boxes for door panels specifically back here. I'm running low. I need to order some more. And then these 3 sizes, so the small, medium, large, are actually from Walmart. Drop a like for that tip because they're amazing boxes. On their own, they might not be that great, but when you start resizing them, they're amazing. And I can show you how to resize boxes to fit any part, any size. Like, just let me know. Drop a comment if you want to see that. And they're super cheap. Like, if you buy these in bulk, like 25 at a time, they're 90 cents. These are like $1.40, $1.50. These are like $1.90 for a huge box. Those are huge. You can ship door panels in those, glass. Like I said, drop a comment if you want to see me resize those. All right, I'm ready to go. I got all my stuff right here. I got my laptop here, my tape. Everything's in front of me for maximum efficiency. I have all my boxes. We're ready to go. I like to start off with, it depends on the day actually, but typically I like to start off with the bigger items just to get them knocked out of the way. The little ones are faster. So first on the list, we'll probably start with these wiper arms. I'm just gonna grab a box. So right here, this box is a 24 by 6 by 6. Hopefully they'll fit in this one. Okay, so they're a little bit too long for this box. I'll show you real quick how I would take this 6 by 6 by 24. Basically, depending on your part. So if this one is kind of narrow and skinny, I know that I can cut this box down quite a bit. So I'm actually gonna take into like account that these ears of the box are roughly the same dimension. Well, they are the same dimension as half the box, because when you fold it, it takes up half the box, right? So all I'm gonna do is I have this tool here. It's just a pry tool, but you can use anything really, like a screwdriver. I'll just take and I'll score right down the center of this box. I'll go all the way down, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll just go all the way down. That way I have a little mark, you see that? Now all I gotta do is fold it right on that mark, and boom, we have a skinnier box. Literally, we could see that'll easily fit in there. But what we gotta do now is cut down the ears, just because we made like a new crease. Basically a new box, super easy. I love doing this just because, I don't know, hopefully most people know it, but people who don't, you're gonna love doing it too. Saves a ton of time, saves a ton of money. Like, why buy each box when you could just make your own? You know? I would say this box is a little pricey on its own already, but look, I don't mind paying a little more to have time saved. You know, time is money. If you can save time, you're gonna be saving a ton of money. I'm just gonna wrap this. You're gonna save a ton of money. You're gonna save a ton of time, which honestly, time these days is like invaluable. Like, the amount of things you can do with your time, you can't even put a price on that. So just buy some boxes, quit using your old Amazon boxes. You know, if that's what you gotta do for a little while, that's fine. Like, I get it. Not everybody can afford boxes, but when you can, and as soon as you can, just get them ordered. You're gonna love it. It's gonna save you a ton of time. You're gonna be able to skyrocket. Your customers are gonna appreciate it. I don't know about you, but if I order something, I don't want it to show up in an Amazon, like, old used up box with old Amazon tape that's been cut and slit. And so basically, look at that, nice, clean. We're gonna turn the scale on. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this style of video. We're just hanging out, shipping orders. I like to write on the box, so it's 2 pounds, 12 ounces. I just put 2.12. That doesn't mean like 0.12 of a pound. It's just like a comma, essentially, 2,12. And then typically I write down the SKU number on here, just the item number. So I didn't take a look at this one, but I see it here on my laptop. It's 7326. So 7326. Now I know what it weighs, what item it is, and typically, because I buy boxes, I know exactly what size each box is. Since I resized this one, I don't, but it's 27 by 7 by 3. 27, 7, 3. Done. We're gonna set this one aside. I'm not gonna print the label right now. I'm gonna print the labels once we get all of them done. So let's do another one. Here we have a combined order. Actually, yeah, I'll do that one. Combined order. It's gonna be these two GMC Acadia hinges. I don't know. I'll probably throw them in a small box. They'll be fine. This box is an 8 by 6 by 4. Honestly, one of my most used boxes. And another reason I go with this box is because it's a little bigger than some of the cubed boxes. So like a 5 by 5 by 5. So it's a little bigger than that. But it's still cheap. So I think I pay like 33 cents per box. So that's super cheap. Both of these hinges will fit in here. Since they're hinges and they're not gonna like crack, they're not gonna scratch really because they're all wrapped up, I'm just gonna use some packing paper to save some money on bubble wrap. So shove some of that in there. Hinge, hinge. A little bit of packing paper on top. Close it up. Man, it's just a great day, honestly. We're chilling, we're relaxing. I'm just gonna write hinges on here. I don't have too many orders, so I'm not even gonna get them confused, especially if I put hinges. 6 pounds, 2 ounces. We're gonna set that one aside. That's all we need. We're gonna move on to the next order. Here we have just a B-pillar trim, or I don't know if it's a B-pillar. Let me double check. So it's just it's the B-pillar trim on the rear door. Again, I have another long box here. It's a little shorter though. The other one was 24 inches. This one is 18 inches and it's 6 wide and 4 tall. So perfect for something like this. Literally like fits in there like a glove, you know? So we're gonna take, I like to start with the bottom of the box. I mean, who doesn't? Who tapes the top of the box first? Like that's, I don't know if you're like me, maybe you have some OCD and you just gotta do it the right way. Yeah, it's the right way. It's not the wrong way. I know what I'm doing. If you think you tape the top, then listen, I'd agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong. And then what? So, just want to add a little bubble wrap because this one, you know, potentially could break, potentially could crack. We don't want that. 6425 is going to be the SKU. Get that taped. Just going to write 6425. Toss that on the scale. It's only 14 ounces. It's going to be super cheap. Hopefully. Let's knock out another one of these big ones. So this is going to require another one of those 24s. So yeah, this one's going to fit no problem. I like to fold the edges. I don't know if I mentioned this. Just because sometimes these boxes, they don't, if you don't fold the edges like I just did, it's going to kind of bulge on you later. Like when you close it, it wants to stay like popped open, even if you tape it. Even now, like it's kind of like naturally wants to pop up. So just a little tip, quick fold your edges. That way you don't have to do it later. Yeah, seriously, let me know what you guys think. I really want to put content that you guys want to see, that you guys want to watch. I want to answer questions. So if you guys want, like, I don't know, maybe just hang out, ship some things, do a Q&A, you know, I can read off some questions you guys are leaving while I pack orders. Feel free, drop some questions below. I can do a video like that. I like answering questions. I'm honest. Like, I've been doing this for almost 3 years and I've been doing it full time. So I have some experience under my belt and I'm able to answer those questions that a lot of people have as beginners. You know, you don't know where to start. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know even how to ship. So this is why we're here. We're just hanging out, having a good old time. Let's see, 1624 was the SKU, and I don't even have to measure these boxes. Like I said, I know the sizes. It's super easy. I just set them aside, move on to the next one. I'm gonna show you, for example, how I would do some of these smaller items. So this is a sensor. I think it's a fuel sensor. I'd have to look, but just a little sensor, nothing crazy, fits in my hand. And then we have these little clips, the sun visor clips. Crazy, they sell, I know. Who wants sun visor clips? But down here, for the sun visor clips, I'm actually gonna use this little bubble mailer. So it's lined with bubbles, bubble wrap inside. That'll be enough for this little guy, and I bet you it's only an ounce. Yeah, it read to an ounce and dropped to 0. So this is gonna be only 1 ounce to ship, and I know the dimension as well. So when this top tab is folded, it's a 7x5. I think they advertise them as 6x4, or I'm sorry, 8x5 or 8x4, and then it's gonna be 2 inches tall. Like, I'll just put 2 inches because the price is not even gonna change on an item this small. So I'm gonna set that aside. I already know, like, 1 ounce, I didn't even have to weigh it. 1 ounce, 7x5x2. Boom, it's gonna be $4 to ship probably. And then this sensor, I started doing them a little different. So I bought these boxes, also like 30 cents, just for these sensors, because a lot of times this little tab on a sensor or the plug, this one has like some metal on it, you know, stainless steel, so it's not as prone to break, but some of them are fully plastic. If you put them in a little mailer, like, they're gonna crack, they're gonna break. Like, I've had it before, and you've probably had it too, or you might not. Like, avoid that mistake. Drop a like if you've had that, and drop a comment. Let me know, like, your worst story, your worst shipping story. But this box is easy. You literally just fold it up, boom. It's like a little box, and then I'll throw this little sensor in here. And if you're trying to be like perfect, you could throw a piece of bubble wrap in there. Honestly, usually I don't. They're fine. They never, like, in the box, they never break on me. But in a bag like the bubble mailer, I've had them break, and it's just annoying. You gotta, like, you lose money. I mean, you have to refund the buyer. You have to file a claim with USPS. So I like these little boxes. And you might be asking, like, it's probably almost the same price as the bigger, the 8x6x4, like, but it's much smaller and much thinner, obviously. But the biggest thing with this is maybe I'll save a few cents on the box, but also it's just like, it's lightweight, so it doesn't weigh as much as the other box. In the, like, world of small items, if your box weighs 1 ounce to 2 ounces, like, it's a different price. If it's 2 to 4, it's a different price. So you want to just kind of have, you know, as light as possible. So this makes the item super light. So 0.4 ounces, it's actually 0.3 ounces. If this was 0.5, because it was in the bigger box, it would be a little more to ship. So I actually save money by putting it in a smaller box. And I'll show you later, this box, I don't have to tape, I don't have to do anything. My label will actually cover that seam. So we're good to go there too. I'll just write the item number. I'm gonna get the rest of these packed, and then we'll get into the total profits here in a minute. All right, now that I got everything packed up, we're gonna go to purchase all my labels. So I like to buy them in bulk, and this is why I don't do them individually, is because if you do it this way, it's all set up. Everything's like fast, everything's easy. You don't have to wait for any loading screens. You don't have to wait for anything, and then everything just prints at once. Now the confusing part might be like, how do you know which label goes where? So this is why once I have this pulled up, we're just gonna select all just so we have them selected. But now I just set them up in order on the bottom of the list. So I'll just set them up here in my like station. So the first order is was the clips. The second order is the sensor. The third order is those wiper arms. I set them over here. So boom, we got the wiper arms. And then we have those hinges. And this is what I labeled everything. And I have the weight, I have the measurements, so this is gonna go fast. We have the switch, the pillar, and then the actuator, the seat belt. Then we have the switch. And finally, the window regulator without the motor. Or maybe with the motor, I can't tell. That's all right, doesn't matter. The window regulator. And then basically all I do now is we're gonna go through the list and we're gonna write down exactly everything that we have. So the first item, it's 1 ounce, I don't have to change that. And then it's 7 by 5 by 2. And then I just click tab and we run through this super fast. So $4.41, that's gonna be the cheapest through USPS. And then, let's see. Next one's 0.4, 7 by 5. Oops, sorry. Go back, different box, 6 by 4 by 2. Same price. It's just like from 1 to 4 ounces, it's a different price. I wonder if I put 5 ounces. See, look at that. The price went up just because I went to 5 ounces. And that's why I do that smaller box. So boom, 4 ounces. And honestly, I think we talked 3, but at 3 ounces, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put 4. Literally doesn't matter on that one. And then 2, 12, and then it's 27 by 7 by 3. Since we kind of resized it, it got a little thicker. 14 bucks, I don't wanna pay that. We're gonna go for ground economy. It's gonna show up still on time. I'm not worried about it. I have standard shipping on all my products. So like 1 to 5 days is kind of what you should expect. So 10 bucks there. A little more expensive, a little less profit. Not a big deal, it's just part of the game. 6.2, and then this box 8 by 6 by 4. I know the measurements, it's great, I love it. Probably the cheapest option here. But it is 2 orders combined, and they're hinges. They're heavy. Like 6 pounds for just some small, like a little box, is pretty heavy. That's not typical. Here we go, $74 out of the $451. Let me just double check since I was rambling and don't want to make any mistakes. Okay, looks good. Just click print. It's gonna deduct from my funds. I like to do a little peek here. A lot of the things I ship are ground advantage. Just want to make sure there's nothing goofy going on here. Ground economy here. And then we're just gonna confirm and pay. Give that a second to load up. And then my label printer is Bluetooth. So literally all I'll do is, let me just pull it up. So I apologize, some of this stuff is out of screen. We're just gonna share all those labels. Click, select, next, speed this up to 8, and print. That's it. And then they're gonna print one at a time, but all of them at the same time, which I love. I love doing that. It makes my life super easy. Once that's done printing, okay, all of these are done printing, have a long list of them. And then usually, not usually, all the time, the first will be last. So the first label that prints is gonna be last, and the last will be first. This is biblical, bro. This is how we do it. And then I like to just confirm. On here it says 0.1 ounce, the first one's 0.1 ounce, the next one's 0.4, and so on. You can kind of know that way. And then all I do, I peel them back. I'll show you in a sec. Good to go. Quick process. Like I mentioned before, honestly, to pick, pull, package, and ship all these orders should only take me like 30 minutes. Just because they're like easy. There was no glass, but even with glass, a piece of glass, maybe 10 minutes to package up and ship if I'm like taking my time. If you challenge me, I bet you I could do it in a couple minutes. That's it. That's all we do. I just like to stick all these. And you can see the efficiency by doing them all at the same time. We saved like a world of time. Like, drop a comment below if you are doing it manually, and because I know that it takes forever, especially off your phone. You sit there, you gotta click like ship order, and then it loads, and like it loads kind of quick, but it still loads. You gotta wait a second, click it, and then you gotta select the shipping options. You gotta wait for that to load. Then you gotta select the box size, and if there's like a 1 ounce and you have 9 ounces, you gotta click on the 1 ounce, backspace it, click your 9 ounces. Then you gotta click each dimension. You gotta clear out the data that's already in there, because for some reason it doesn't leave it blank. It leaves it like 1 by 1 by 1, but your box isn't that. And so it takes a long time. It's annoying, and I've done it. Honestly, you won't be able to print a label faster than like 2 minutes if you're doing it on your phone. Maybe like a minute and a half, but I doubt it. We sold 12 items with one order that's combined. So 11 orders in one day. That's not bad if you ask me. Yeah, maybe you're seeing like, well, each order didn't actually make that much money. It didn't, you're right. But it's about making all those little amounts together. And then this was an easy day, like a light day. Imagine like you're selling some bigger items here and there. So today we didn't have any super big items or super expensive items, but we just had like the day-to-day, the bread and butter like items sell. So let me know what you guys want to see.